The Galactic Council chamber shimmered with the glow of 1,000 worlds. Delegates from every known species sat in rows that curved like the rings of a planet. Voices hummed in layered tones, clicking and hissing across translators, and at the center, beneath the council seal, the vote was called. Motion number 729, intoned the moderator, to remove the Terran species from galactic membership and declare Earth exiled from the Union of Civilized Worlds. The chamber fell silent. No one needed the translation. For decades, the humans had been tolerated. Their admission into the council had been a matter of necessity, back when the Union needed their strange weapons and impossible engineering during the War of the Rift. But the war was long over, and the galaxy had grown tired of their defiance, their unpredictability, their way of bending every rule ever written. One by one, the light orbs over each delegate blinked. Blue for yes, red for no. When it was done, the result appeared in golden letters across the chamber. Vote 963-4. Motion passed. Earth is exiled. The chamber filled with murmurs of relief. At last, the unpredictable humans would be contained. No more interference, no more demands, no more questions that made the elder species uncomfortable. But among those few who knew humanity well, there was a quiet dread. The humans would not beg for re-entry. They would not argue. They would move. And when humans moved, the galaxy shifted with them. On Earth, the message arrived not through a broadcast, but a silence. Every relay station flickered off. Every wormhole beacon to Union space shut down. Galactic trade licenses were revoked, ambassadors recalled. Earth was alone again. In the vast halls of the United Terran Directorate, the leaders met in a quiet session. There was no outrage, no panic, just still faces, and the faint hum of air recyclers. Director Hale stood at the center, hands folded behind his back. They voted to exile us, he said plainly. We are no longer part of the Union. No one spoke, he continued. That means our colonies are cut off. Our ships are restricted from their lanes. No trade, no tech sharing, no access to their archives. An admiral finally broke the silence. So we build our own. There was a long pause, then nods around the table. Begin Exodus Protocol. 3 years passed. Across the solar frontier, shipyards burned bright against the void. The exo-rings of Mars glowed with weld light as orbital docks stitched together vast hulls, new ships beyond anything the Union had ever seen. The asteroid fields of Ceres became foundries. The dark side of Luna bristled with projectors and generators that hummed with quiet menace. Humanity was no longer looking outward with curiosity. It was building inward for endurance. News reached the border worlds. Traders whispered of human vessels spotted far beyond regulated routes, black-hulled and silent. Engines without visible flare. The Union dismissed them as rumors, until one of their survey fleets vanished near a dead star. When a second fleet vanished, the Union finally sent a message. It was not diplomatic, it was cautious. At the edge of the Perseid expanse, a small patrol cruiser picked up a signal. It was a Terran ship, unregistered. The Union vessel approached carefully, broadcasting warnings. Unidentified vessel, this is Council Patrol Craft Varan. You are in restricted Union space. Identify yourself. The reply came in clear galactic standard, flat and calm. This is the Terran vessel Resolute. You are in human quarantine space. Withdraw immediately, the patrol commander sneered. You misunderstand. Humanity has been exiled. You have no jurisdiction? Incorrect, came the reply. You exiled us. We did not agree to obey afterward. Before the commander could respond, the Terran ship moved. No light, no engine flare, just motion, impossible acceleration. When sensors recalibrated, the Resolute was already gone, and the Union cruiser's main reactor was missing, not damaged. Missing as if carved out of the hull by an invisible hand. Panic spread across the Council worlds. The humans were not fading into isolation. They were expanding quietly and efficiently. Entire sectors went dark where human colonies had once been. Surveillance probes found nothing but empty space and strange energy traces. Some said they were constructing a gate network. Others claimed they had moved their entire civilization underground, or somewhere the Union could not follow. On the 6th year after exile, the Union received a message. One message sent across every frequency. This is Earth Directorate. We accept your decision. We will not return. It was signed by Director Hale himself. Then came the final line, quiet and chilling. Do not enter our space again. The Council, arrogant and unafraid, ignored it. The galaxy's curiosity was a force older than fear. Expeditions launched in secret, fleets sent under science banners, probes dispatched into Terran sectors. Most never returned. Those that did brought footage the Council refused to show publicly. Worlds that glowed faintly blue under shield domes larger than cities. Machines floating over molten cores drawing power from entire planets, and in orbit. Rings of dark metal, pulsing with energy that seemed to warp the very fabric of light. Humanity was building something. Not weapons, not colonies, something greater. On the 10th year after Exile, the Council's first true confrontation came. The Draal Command, a proud and ancient species, sent a battle group into the Sol region. They intended to inspect compliance with Union restrictions. They arrived at the edge of the system beyond Neptune's orbit and found it empty. No transmissions, no signals, no visible activity. Then a voice filled their comms. You were warned. And the darkness around Neptune shimmered. From behind the planet emerged shapes that blotted out the stars. Human vessels, enormous and silent, no visible engines, no weapon ports. Yet every Draal sensor screamed of impossible energy signatures. The Draal commander hesitated. We are authorized to you. The human ships vanished. Not moved, vanished. Then the Draal flagship's shields failed, its systems locked, and every weapon on every Draal ship powered down simultaneously. The voice spoke again. Leave. Do not return. The Draal fleet jumped away, and not one ship ever spoke of it again. But the Council had seen the data. Panic gave way to debate. Some demanded peace, others revenge. The elder races claimed humanity had become a rogue element, a danger to galactic order. One delegate from the Thelonian cluster made a simple remark that silenced the chamber. They were exiled, and instead of collapsing, they evolved. The words hung heavy. Humans had always been a paradox, fragile and furious, curious and cruel, builders and destroyers. Now, free from the rules of the Union, they had turned that paradox into strength. The Council ordered a containment strategy. Borders were fortified, patrols increased. They thought they could wall off humanity. But how do you contain a species that has already decided walls are optional? The first contact after the wall came from a colony on the far side of the Orion Spur. A human vessel appeared over their skies, dropping a capsule that unfolded into a beacon. No message, no demand. Just a phrase carved into its surface. We seek no dominion. Stay away. But 2 months later, the same world reported an anomaly. Every artificial satellite began to move on its own, aligning into a perfect orbital pattern. When they tried to shut them down, they found their systems rewritten in an unknown code. The colony sent a distress call. No one ever received it. Whispers began spreading among the outer worlds, of Terran fleets made of light and silence, of entire systems that shifted coordinates overnight. And then the unthinkable. A dying star in the Calith rim suddenly stabilized. Sensors confirmed it had been artificially repaired. A Terran signature was detected near the core. The galaxy froze. No civilization had ever done that, not even the oldest of the elder races. To fix a star, to hold back its death, was an act reserved for myth. And yet, humanity had done it, quietly, without witness or reward. On the 15th year, the Council sent an emissary. A single envoy ship entered Terran space broadcasting peace. It never returned, but a message did. It was short. You exiled us. You chose separation. Keep it. No anger, no threat. Just finality. The Council finally understood. Humanity was no longer part of their galaxy. They had stepped beyond it. Not in distance, but in purpose. Decades later, a mining vessel near the galactic rim found a human artifact. A crystalline sphere, half buried in an asteroid. When touched, it projected an image. Earth green and blue floating in the void, then a voice faint and calm. We are not gone. We are preparing. The miners left it untouched. A century passed. The Union fractured under its own weight. Species argued, wars ignited, and the once proud Galactic Council fell silent. And then, when all seemed lost, the skies over dozens of dying worlds lit up. Human ships appeared, vast, elegant, silent. They descended to broken planets, repairing atmospheres, igniting suns, restoring gravity wells. They spoke no words. They took no power. They simply rebuilt what others had destroyed. When the new council tried to contact them, one final message came through. You exiled us because you feared what we might become. You were right. The transmission ended there. Across the galaxy, legends grew. Some said humanity had learned to harness dark matter, to shift between realities. Others whispered they had found the edge of the universe and built bridges across it. But those who had seen them knew the truth. Humanity had not abandoned the galaxy. They had outgrown it. They were no longer the exiled. They were the architects of a new dawn. And when they finally returned, they did not come as conquerors, but as witnesses to